That's a weird one, isn't it? That's a weird one. Who knows what it's called? Welcome to the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. This one is one of my mishmash films. I love putting these together, all bits and pieces. I think it makes it more interesting myself. That's me saying that. Oh, and obviously I make them. But first one's going to be a bit of floater fishing. And listen, don't forget, as short as it is, there might only be one tip in there, but it could be the tip that gets you the fish. So once I've cast out, I've got it, as you can see, a buzzer at the front. This is my floater bait. A reel is in a backrest as well here. But the thing to do to make sure is just have it on backwind. It's just in case you do look away, and I would recommend you definitely don't look away. And I'm lucky on this one, it doesn't seem to be, I think there's some geese up over there. But always keep a view on floater baits, just don't go to sleep with them, because at the end of the day you don't want to be hooking birds. Just a pain trying to have them fly off all over the place, and then you've got to unhook them and let them go. It's a grief and aggravation you don't need. So it's best, I find, put it on anti-reverse for safety and just sit and watch your float, and you can basically just tension up every now and then down there, make adjustments. You can lift it up if there's a bit of breeze. It's going to put a belly of line, big belly in the line. When you do get a take, you're going to miss it. At the moment nothing's taken at all. So you can see here this sort of fluff on the surface. It's like, I think it's willow blossom, but you can break that up by putting some oil on your crust there. You can see I've put some of my Raptor oil on there. You can see the colours as it comes off, and it actually pops away from the crust, and it pushes any floating bits of sort of willow blossom away, and you can see your bait better. And that's good for the fish, and it's good for me because I can see what's coming. And then you can see a carp just basking on the surface. And the thing is, he's not moving around. I feel much happier if that fish was like cruising. And when they're static like that, I find when you put a bait on top of them, they do actually tend to just drift away or merge into the depths and basically disappear. Occasionally they will take. Now, look on the edge of the rushes here. I'm zooming in with the camera. I can see one carp there. See him, the dark shape of him? Now see how he's nosing those bits of fluff on the surface? So when they're in close like that, they feel a bit more confident. They probably will take, there's another fish in the foreground then, another fish, one, I can see 2, 3 fish I think there in the background, right in tight to the rushes where that fluff has sort of drifted. So that's worth drifting in there. I zoom in quick, boom, there's a floater. But again, I notice they're pretty static. They're not moving around much, which is, you know, never good I find carp fishing. It's just, if they're cruising slowly and moving, I feel much, much more confident of them taking a floating bait. Of course, if you get a nice bit of breeze, even air movement, you get this blossom on the surface like this. You can see it's drifted down the other end of the lake, actually away from me since I started filming. It's just a slight air movement has pushed it down there, and that allows me, as you can see, at least I can put my crust out there. There's my float, there's my piece of bread just sitting out there. We're dipped in a bit of fish oil to try and clear the you know, the area of about 2 or 3 feet around it to isolate it. Bingo, hooked up to a fish. Happy days. It was worth the wait, and I definitely think it's worth putting a little bit of my, any fish oil would do, a bit of raptor oil on there. Just dip your crust into it, and you'll find when that blossom is all over the surface, it breaks up the surface film, and you can see your bait better, and I believe the carp can see it better too. Well, taking that float off made all the difference. Took a while coming, and again, fish much bigger than I thought it was initially. I thought it was you know, 4 pounds, even less, 3 pounds, because some of the fish were there small. And this guy just came in off the edge of that surface, scum, and picked it up. So well pleased with that. Just a little change, just taking that float off made all the difference. Well, I love it when a plan comes together, and it did. Just got myself a carp out of it anyway. So moving on now to something, well, sea fishing. But when I used to do a lot of shore fishing, I never did go squid fishing. Now, were they there then 40 years ago, and we never fished with those modern Japanese and Oriental jigs, you know, with the little pins and the spikes on them? Were the squid always there? I don't know. Did they come every year? Why didn't we catch them? Was it because we didn't have the squid jigs? I don't know. Anyway, now we've got the squid jigs, and I looked back through my films and I thought, wow, there's some interesting information in there. And this, as I'm making this, is December, January-ish, that's all the time. That's when you should be getting the squid off the shore in the UK. So here's some tips for you, and I want to know, guys, in the southern hemisphere, you guys all fishing down there, Australia, Polynesia, all around that area, South Africa, do you get squid in your winter? That would be our summer. We don't seem to get the squid much in the summer. It's a winter thing. Let us know, and here's a little clip of tips really. Do you know what I mean? the more I see it, the more I want to go squid fishing. Change of jig. I told Mackie, I says, I need another jig, Mackie, I need the one you're using. And it was, I think, first cast. He's going to fight all the way to the frying pan. And he mustn't really, because they're absolutely superb baits, these. And I'll tell you what I like the colours of them. They're sort of beautiful copper colour, aren't they? So with these, for beginners, you know, they're not... He's almost fighting this one. There's no hooks on them, they got the spines. Oh yeah, that's a better one. You can see the spines there, look. They're just gripping these. They can't pull off of these pins. And they're very, very sharp, these needles. This particular lure has been well used, I imagine. Mackie, this one.
Yeah,
this lure.
Well, a funny story about that.
It's weird because it's not much of a colour to it, and yet they've taken it, haven't they?
Yeah, there's a really funny story behind that jig. I was fishing on the harbour side down here, and I got snagged up, and I actually reeled that jig in.
Oh really?
And it's one of those expensive ones.
Is it? You giving it to me?
Yamashita, so
you giving it to me?
It's one of the ones that's seen the depths, and I resurrected it, and it's caught loads, as you can probably see by the marks on it.
Yeah, it's faded.
On the beach.
It's faded.
That's the original. It was a brown colour anyway, but it's more. I don't know why, but I've always done well on the brown colours.
Yamashita.
Definitely, yeah, one of my favourite jigs.
Have they all got these little feathers? Ouch, these pins are sharp. Have they all got these little feathers on them as well?
Yeah, most of them have it. Yeah, they all sort of have these little feathers. You can get them on all different sizes. The new range of Yamashitas they brought out is called the 490 Glow, and what they do is when they glow up, instead of glowing green, they actually sort of glow like a blue sort of. What do you call it? Like a UV sort of blue.
Yes.
And apparently the squid react to that colour better than the actual green glow.
That's a good size.
Oh, nice.
That's a better size. That's edible size.
There we go.
That's what I call, guys. That's what I call a wife-size squid because she loves eating these. That is a beauty. That one. They're slippery to hold, so I'm going to hold in there for you. I'll tip that down.
You got one, Aaron.
Look at that one.
Oh,
right in the kisser. I'm absolutely soaked.
Yeah, he's got you.
Absolutely nailed. It's not funny. At least I want to go over the lens as well. I think. Do you know what I think? It's funny because he missed the camera and he got me.
And that's pretty much the easiest way. You see, it's all changed colour. That is now as dead as a nail. You can tell just all of its tentacles are still red, but that's pretty much, yeah, instant. So it's a bit more easier than using a knife, because sometimes you don't hit the right spot, but doing it that way you can pretty much ensure it's gone.
Yeah, all that is one of the old style, like original squid jigs. I just thought I'd come up with an idea with sort of glow in the dark powder for using for paint. I bought a UV torch, only £2 offline, off one of those sort of generic Chinese websites, and sort of 3 settings. And they seem to work. The UV torches work a lot better than sort of a headlight. Sort of the jigs seem to charge a lot better. The only downfall done on this was I put the green on first and then the blue. The green seems to sort of hold the charge and glow a lot better. Sort of in the dark, it sort of does glow up a lot better.
There we go. Oh, look at that, boys.
It does hold its charge, you know what I mean? It's you've got to keep on it for a while. But we've sort of had the lot on this for a couple of seconds, 30 seconds maybe to a minute at one point, and it stayed glowed for a good hour.
Oh, really long time then?
Yeah, they sort of, it holds its charge. It's not too bad. Like I say, it's a work in progress as such, for what it is. I'm going to try and put more green on it, take it all off, put green. But then again, you've got the like a shop bought one, and seems to work quite well. The white ones, and just charging it up, give a little flash now and again, and then holds the charge quite well. Compared to sort of having your head torch on, you hold up to your head torch for a while. Within sort of a couple of seconds, they seem to have gone out. But the UV seems to do the job quite well.
And that's with the light on. You can see it there. And as soon as I turn the light off, glowing.
Beauty, innit?
But you put it in the dark shadow line, that's it, you can see it there.
And that's with, you know, that's with the blue sort of over the, that's my downfall, that I put the blue over the green. If that was more, if I put more green on there, it'd be, you know, sort of.
What were you saying about the thermal qualities of some lures now?
Yeah, a lot of the people, the Yamashitas now, they're saying that the warm jackets, they sort of go up by a degree or so, and not thinking, we've been sort of fishing them thinking that, you know, drop in the water, they'll go up a degree. But we're speaking to a sort of a fellow fisherman, and he said if you just put them in your hand, sort of blow in your hand, yeah, it sort of generate the heat they hold. And I tried it earlier on, and sort of on the drop, I was straight into one. So obviously shows that the sort of technology on those sort of more expensive squids, like squid jigs like the Yamashitas, is obviously sort of worth the money.
So that meaning that the squid can hunt thermal, like a thermal imaging thing, they can pick up the heat, sense the heat off of their prey.
Yeah, they seem to think that obviously the Yamashita, they put a lot of time and money into sort of research, and there's a lot of videos online of them, and they're saying that, you know, they don't hunt just by light, it's by thermal as well as scent, and like I say, it seems to work. A lot of people fish these Yamashitas now. So. And
you watched the entire video, you said, in Japanese.
Yeah, just to sort of
steal their ideas.
Yeah, try and get a bit of knowledge and sort of try these things out. You know, if you don't try it, you don't know, do you? So.
It's true.
Yeah, it's always worth anything, isn't it?
Well, that was some interesting stuff there. There's a few tips and makes and stuff like that. We're not selling squid jigs. We're just talking to the guys that do really well with them. Give it a go. It's worth trying. And you can either keep them for bait or you can cook them. If you want to cook them, here's a little sequence of how I prep and cook my squid. You can see here all the ink is coming out of these. It goes everywhere. But it's all got to come out. You can see it. Look, all here. Now whether I'm using that for bait or whether I'm going to be eating, I want the ink out. So what I do is start splitting them all down. Now you can see our other YouTube up there. I think it's called Squid Invasion. Maybe Michael put a link up on it and show you how to get it. But you get rid of all this ink, and it's got a whole film sequence on basically preparing them. But just to run through it quickly, I put my thumb down the back of the spine here, and I just pull the guts out there. You can leave the tap running slowly if you're not on a water meter, which we are. Now that's edible. Of course you could eat the head and tentacles. I'm putting mine up here on the top because I'm saving all these for bait. And then what I'm going to do back down here in the sink, I'll show you on this one, where you got the wings here, which is their sort of, I suppose you can want to call it a fin if you like. See the two fins? If you put your thumb down over the top there, you can go right through and just peel those wings right off. As I say, the whole film prep on a much bigger film with bigger squid is there. Keep all these wings, just rinse them off. Because basically, look, I can use these with ink in them, but on my boat for bait, but I don't want the ink all over the bait. So I've got two different lots of baits here. Squid head, that's going to be used for cod, conger, bass. I can also cut off the catching tentacles, which are these long ones. Here you can see the suckers on them. Still stick to me, look, these are hours old. Cut those off. I can use those for strip baits for fish like black bream, gurnard, anything like that. And then these wings, I can also strip these up with a knife and use those as strip baits as well, or indeed put them on hold. But I've got to tell you guys, these with the head, with the guts there, obviously it's got the eyeballs and the catching tentacles, just snip them off there. They are first class big fish baits off the shore or off the boat. Well, there's something that's going to strike fear into the heart of every woman. About 4 gallons of squid ink. But look what I got, guys. I got racks and racks of squid bait for going conger, cod and bass fishing, or small baits. Bag them up. Don't put them all in one big bag, in one giant great big gob of ice. You'll never get them apart. Do them in small bags of maybe 2 or 3 each, like we've done here. And then the same over here with all the heads like this. You want to do them in, say, 3s, I would say, batches of 3, and you can even roll 3 in cling film, 3 in cling film, like that. Here I've got those wings. I'm going to be using those, going to batch those up, freeze those down separately, and of course the piece that gets me forgiven for making the sink dirty is indeed, look at my fingers, is indeed the eating squid. So we got a lot, about 30 something odd squid there. Well, those squid look almost good enough to eat. In fact, they were really good. I made a big mistake though, guys. Although I had a lot of squid, me and the wife ate nearly all of them. I wish I kept them for bait. Honestly, they are crackerjack for big fish, off the shore or in the boat. I know I kept the head and the guts and stuff like that, but brilliant bait. Got to go and catch some more of those. Anyway, I had another little short trip. You might want to see the footage. Again, could be just one little tip I mentioned in there, who knows. It's something different. I wanted to go catfishing. I went up to Finch Farm, a small water. Had cats there before. I've had them on mackerel chunks, fish guts, loads of different stuff. But I thought I don't really use a natural roach, let's say a 3-inch roach. Now you can buy these in tackle shops in packs now, like little packs of 5 or 10 or whatever, of frozen natural baits. I thought, if the catfish is going on the bottom, I know they've got small eyes, but they must pick vibrations up off the bottom. Will they come up and rise up and take a floatfish bait? Well, listen guys, I know they do, but I don't think I've caught many on floatfish bait suspended. It's worth a try. Why don't you join me and see if I get one? I'm here at Finch Farm. Going to try Catfish Lake, quite late in the year, autumn, but they tell me they do come out. They've given it a major haircut here with the reeds, which have massive reed beds over there. Look, I'll show you what they look like. Mick tends to leave my thing for the wild. I think a lot of, you know, reed, I suppose reed warblers, birds and stuff. So thick rushes here. Are they rushes or are they reeds? I guess they're reeds. It's here, look. This stuff. Very pretty and actually gives you a good windbreak on this bank. Now you can see there, previous I've come, you look at our previous films here, it's like a jungle. They absolutely cut it right back. And this stuff is still, it's going to grow anyway. It grows like wildfire. So it'd be interesting to see. It looks like the water is bigger, but obviously it's the same size as when the reeds were there, but it just gives the appearance of being bigger. So I'll probably put one on the bottom, luncheon meat. It's got a second-hand shop there. They just done it out, Ray's just all done it out as I speak. Got a lot of gear. Might even take a swing round there, guys, and show you through it. So that's my setup there. I'm only going to try it, locked either side by a couple of BB, and I've put a double SSG or 2 single SSGs here down to my hook, so that basically, look, there's a depth there. Now my problem is I should have put a band on that because that's a barbless hook. Check the drag, as always with catfish, fairly lumpy drag. I figure along that shadow line might be quite good. Look, I can see on the rod top. You've also got the lilies there. That's a feature bed, that lily bed. I dare say they're laying underneath that, but hazardous hooking one there because it's going to be hit and hold tactics. Then got a pick up over there, guys. It just thumped under. I know it's a take, but I think he might have dropped it. I don't know. Yeah, he's dropped it. That's a shame. 100% that was a take. It might have been a small cat, who knows. It was indeed a catfish, but there. It's the first take I've had in an hour and a half. And I'll tell you what, I'm not so sure really, to be honest, a dead bait just bumped across the bottom. You can move it every now and then, and you can cast it where you want it. Wow. I think somebody just grabbed this when I brought the bait down into the corner here. I thought there was a take on it, I'll be honest. Oh, got a pike on. Got a pike on, boys. How long this is going to last, I don't know. Oh yeah, nice pike. Let's move it. He might come off. He's on a single hook there. There he is. Wow, boys, a pike. I think that's the first pike I've had out of the Cat Lake. There we go, guys, first pike I've caught out of the Catfish Lake. Gratefully accept, just getting back. Well, well, well. There you go. It's gone. Result. Got the skunk out the boat and saved the blank. Well, I was going to pack up from this side, and I did in fact get a couple of roach and go at the top bay, but it seemed to be very shallow there. Then the rain came. So I thought, be wise, come all the way back. Came all the way back to the swim. Wind picked up with the rain. Didn't really come as they forecast, so I could have stood there and maybe fished. So I've wasted 20 minutes, half an hour really, messing around. Billy 3 meats means I've got lunch and meat, lunch and meat, lunch and meat, and I just had a screamer while I was untangling some tackle and tied in my tackle box up for pass of time. A real single tone screamer, didn't feel a thing, missed it, so it's a catfish definitely. So I'm on three lots of meat at the moment. I'm sitting on the wrong side of this, but if I sit in between where I could strike the rods, I am in the cold of the wind. So it's all a bit hit and hope at the moment. Don't feel very fishy, I have to say. I'm looking for one fish maybe. I think I might get lucky with one, I don't know. But I'm going to keep an eye on that. Maybe I'll go back and change to the float rather than being on with bottom baits and try out that shallow end. I've got to keep an eye on the weather. Sandwich time, I feel. Do you find that slower the fishing is, the more you eat? It just seems to be the way it is. Well, disappointing to say the least, folks. Everybody else has gone on the last fisherman here. The last guy's just packed up and gone. He's caught nothing. He was here longer than me. I got it about 10 in the morning. He's been there before me. So it's one pike. That's all I've caught. One catfish lost on the float. When I say lost, pulled it under, ran off, spat the bait. Screaming EBGB went on lunch and meat close in, wasn't watching, real back winding, struck, nothing, gone. So that's it, it's back to the drawing board. I was really fired up for this one, that's the thing. I was really up for it, because he told me the last guy had 12 catfish. Sun's gone down, bit of an ominous cloud there, but I don't think it's going to rain. So I'm thinking, where can I go? Because do you ever get that feeling when you just want to catch a fish? It's like, you know, you get it out of your system. I'll tell you what it is, it's a changeover season from, let's say, autumn or summer stroke autumn to autumn stroke cold winter. The changeover species. It's too early for me to go beach fishing, cod and stuff like that. Probably right on pike fishing time. Having caught that pike, it's got me going. But it's also cold, the water's going to get colder. Maybe that's why the cats are shut down, the old catfish. I'm thinking maybe I got a morning tomorrow. So, back to the drawing board. Worse for you guys. I might have to go out and take it out on the workshop and build something out of pallets. I don't know. Maybe I'll find something for you. But thanks for watching the Totally Awesome Fishing Show. Not a great one. I'm sure I can find some footage for you to amuse you shortly. See you next time. And yes, I have got 10 minutes left before I wind in. I fear the worst though. Well, there's a few fish on there, and listen, the essence of that, me putting those together, is I've always been an all-round fisherman. I could not possibly just do carp. I just couldn't do it. It would do my head in, one species. I like to have Different species, different techniques, different baits. I can go on the beach, I can go on the boat, I can go big game fishing if I want to. I can go river fishing, canal fishing, or lake fishing. I love it all because it keeps you sparky, it keeps you fresh. You guys should try it. Don't get stuck on one species. Give it a go. Listen, you won't find it as easy as concentrating on just one species, because each time you make the change, that species gives you more of a target. Could be tougher to catch. Anyway, good luck if you do it. It's great. It's lasted me 60 plus years and I'm still doing all round fishing. We'll see you next time in the next film. Well, you know the score. Hit the totally awesome buttons, TA Outdoors, TA Fishing, hit the recommendation bell, little notification bell so you know when the films come up. And we'll see you guys in the next film.